In the last part of our build, we soldered up a lot of, well, the majority of our flight controller and mounted it on. Now I forgot to mention a lot of information about this in the previous part. This is an SP Racing F3 Acro board, the cheaper one. It's about $25. I got that on Banggood. But yeah, moving on. This time we're doing the video transmitter, which is right in here. We're not going to be using this. It's pretty small. I think it was about 20 US dollars, so pretty inexpensive. Well, maybe some of them are a little bit cheaper, but for this one the quality should be pretty good. It has a push button to switch the channels and frequencies. Yeah, pretty basic, 5.8 gigahertz. It can also switch in between 25 and 200 milliwatts for the power, which will in theory increase the amount of range or better the video quality that's going through. So that's what we're going to be using for the actual video transmitter. Along with that, I also have a pigtail because I want some extra room that's going out the end, and in case I do get in a really bad crash, when the antenna's on the end, it's only going to ruin the pigtail, not the video transmitter. It's kind of important. And for now, I guess we will also add on a 4-lobe Omway antenna. This is about $17 on Banggood for a pair of them, so they're really high quality. Oh, and this one was $5 on Hobby King. Then the cable we're going to be using is this. It just plugs right into the video transmitter like so. We have two exiting kind of leads. They go in different directions. This one here is going to be connected directly into the camera. I won't have to switch the cable at all. But this one is going to be plugged into the power distribution board where the main battery voltage is. And I have this other cable that I'm going to solder it up to, so I'm going to shorten these wires to about here, and then have it connected to this tiny little connector on the power distribution board. Now, like I said a second ago, it's going to be mounted on directly, so the way it's going to go is the antenna goes on the end, right here. We have the pigtail going underneath, like so, and then our video transmitter is going to be screwed into the pigtail, like so, zip tied down, and then, as you can tell, this whole roof of it is assembled, so I just had one long standoff, then 3 other shorter ones. I also put on the action camera mount, not too difficult. Most of these screws are not button head, they're fat ones, I don't know what you call them, but anyway, when we're done assembling all of that, including the camera and so on and so forth, it's just going to go on like that and we put screws on underneath. So I guess now we might as well get on to assembling this sucker. So I think we're just going to start off by doing this quick soldering job. We have these exiting wires from the power distribution board. This one here is ground and this one here is voltage directly from the battery. It's not regulated at all, and I sure hope I don't fry the video transmitter because of strange reasons, but anyway, right here we have the corresponding voltage and ground. The video transmitter operates in between 7 and 22 volts, so it should be okay. I'm just gonna give it a certain length. I think around here should be plenty of slack. And then after I solder them up together, before I solder them, I'm going to slide on these pieces of shrink tubing. When they're soldered, I'm going to put them over, I'm going to heat them so that they shrink. That way they're not going to short accidentally, which is very important. Alright, so I got these wires nicely soldered up. Just to remove a little bit of slack, I'm going to stuff these underneath the flight controller, power, and signal. I guess now we're just going to put some more stuff on this top plate. I'm going to start with this pigtail. Send that through, and I want this to be level like that, so it's flush with the top of it. I'm also going to stick on the antenna, but first I have this little washer because there's no nut on the end and it's too much space, and I can't screw it down all the way, so I really don't want to damage it, but I still want it kind of shim tight. Then I'll just take the video transmitter, screw screw that on. I probably should have done it before though. Alright, there we go. It looks pretty clean. I think I might add some zip ties going through right there just to hold it in place, but I don't even think that's really necessary right now. You know what, I'm just going to do it anyway. So now I have these items fairly secure with this one zip tie across the pigtail. Stuff isn't shifting around too much, and I can remove the antenna on the end and it won't come loose, which is nice, because obviously there's no nut on the end of the pigtail, so it just falls off if I don't have this on, but not anymore. So whenever I'm ready to put the top on, I could just simply plug this wire in there, which is going to power up the video transmitter. Then I'll just close it in on top like so. No big deal. So next up, we're going to be putting on the camera, which should be fairly simple. We're just going to have a little mount here and then just plug it in with this wire, which is already ready to go. Alright, we'll see you in the next part.